Good morning, everyone, both here and at Grace Baptist Church in Mount Vernon. Of course, we're here at Riverside Church in Harlem, and for those who are watching online, because I know we have some folks online as well, welcome to Empower New York. My apologies to you that you're stuck with me as the host over the next several hours. My name is Dr. Joseph Mikhael. I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Medical Officer of the International Myeloma Foundation, and I'll be serving as our host today. We have lots of great things planned over the course of the day, and always involves food. So if you do get the nibblies while we're chatting here, feel free to pick up a little more food in the back of the room. We know over at Grace Baptist there have been some snacks provided there as well, so thank you very much for being with us today. This is a very meaningful event for me, as I often say, both personally and professionally. As an African-American physician, it means a great deal to me that there is such interest in finding ways to bridge this gap, this terrible health disparity that we're seeing in multiple myeloma within the African-American community and many other communities that we're working with as well. So you're going to hear a lot about that today. I'm not going to scare you off from all that's coming. I would like to say that the other beautiful part of being able to join us today is to do this here in Riverside Church and at Grace Baptist. We felt that would be a great way of doing things. We're doing this today in partnership with Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and you'll be meeting some of the wonderful folks from MSK shortly. But instead of having it sort of on a hospital campus or even in a hotel, we wanted to host it right within a church. And we've done this before in different venues and different places. Sometimes we do it in a community health center or just a community center or even in a church, and so it means a great deal. It also means a great deal, I think, to me in particular, and to many of us as we've been discussing, is that we particularly plan to do this on Juneteenth weekend here in New York. So we know some of you are going to be participating in some of the other Juneteenth events and activities over the course of the weekend, and so we appreciate that you've taken time for us to do so. I would like to just comment that we've had a whole series of individuals and organizations that have supported this great effort, and we're particularly thankful, as I mentioned before, within the International Myeloma Foundation. Our program is known as the Empower program. You're going to hear about what that means in a few minutes, and we're doing this event today in partnership with the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. But we've also had support from 2seventy Bio, AbbVie, Amgen, Binding Site, Bristol Myers Squibb, Genentech, GSK, Janssen Oncology, Karyopharm, Pfizer, Sanofi, and Takeda Oncology, and many are represented at our meetings today. We're just so thankful for you. So I'm really just the appetizer. The main dish is going to be listening to these amazing speakers today. I won't go through everybody in great detail because you'll see them over the course of the day. Some of these faces are here at Riverside Church, some are over at Grace Baptist, but in a few moments you're going to hear from the boss, as I like to call him, Yelek Baru, who is patient president and CEO of the International Myeloma Foundation. Robin and Michael Toohey are over at Grace Baptist, as are Dr. Carleen Tan and Dr. Hani Hassoun, who are physicians at Memorial Sloan Kettering, who will be over at Grace Baptist. You're going to hear a little bit later today from a patient and her mother, a wonderful two individuals that I've just gotten to know over the last day who have become family instantly, Nicole Johnson and Yvonne Eddington. And we're going to hear a little bit later this morning from Amy Pierre, who is a nurse practitioner here in New York at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And last but not least, my BFF, Dr. Saad Usmani, who is the head of the myeloma program, the chief of the myeloma service at Memorial Sloan Kettering. So in a few minutes, we'll have the privilege of introducing you to Yelek. I'm going to give you a bit of an overview later on, what is myeloma? Myeloma made simple. This is something that sometimes can be really complicated when we deal with a disease like myeloma. We're going to hear from Amy a bit about the importance of communication in care, and then we're going to have a little panel, and then I will talk to you a little bit about how race and myeloma intersect. And why is it that we are so focused on this issue today, because our goal today is to, as we'll show with you with the whole of the Empower program, is not only to inform or to educate, but to genuinely empower us to change the course of myeloma, as we'll describe. Then after the break, I'll go through a bit more of the detail later, but we'll hear from Dr. Osmani about how we treat this disease. We'll talk a little bit about the whole program of the Empower project, and then a little bit about clinical trials, and then we'll have that interview, as I mentioned, with both Nicole and Yvonne. So before we get any further, I'm going to call up Yelek Beru, who, as I've mentioned, is a patient president and CEO. That's a marvelous title that he carries. And Yelek, I'm going to have you come up and share with us a little bit of what it's like to be those three things together. Turn it to you, boss.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joe.